Matt Kaulig joins us, and of course you remember Matt from our Olympic coverage, spreading the messages of inspirational stories from the 2 weeks in Tokyo, and those were great. But let's get to what is going on right now in the Kaulig Racing team. You are red hot right now, 3 wins in a row at the real biggies. Michigan, Indianapolis, and the jewel, Daytona.
Yep, it's been a great 3 weeks. I mean, we've had a great season in NASCAR. It's super fun to win at any track, but yeah, the Indianapolis race, that was our 7th Cup race that we've ever started in, and then we won it. We're the fastest team in NASCAR history to win a Cup race that early in your career or whatever. So no, we just had we had Daytona this past weekend on Saturday. And just super fun. For the first time ever, we're in the points lead in the standings. So A.J. Allmendinger is leading all points for the Xfinity Series in the standings. So we're excited.
Let me take it this way, okay? Everybody talks about car and driver, but there is so much more to it. It's team. It's team. Tell us about your team.
Well, the team has expanded. I mean, we've got about 50 employees. I mean, you've got you have engineers, you have administrative people like public relations people that are just dealing with media. You've got drivers, you've got people handling the drivers, you've got hauler drivers. So, our race shop's down in North Carolina. And so literally every single week you take a giant semi-hauler with all your stuff to a racetrack, to be able to take a couple cars and, all the engines and everything else. So you have a great team. And you've got pit stops. You've got all the pit stop people, like when you come in the car to service the car. And so we've got a great team. Apparently, so this is our 6th year in NASCAR. Some of the teams that we compete against have been doing this for 50 years. Jim.
Yeah.
I mean, 50 years. And so we're only 6 years in, and we're doing great. We won our 13th trophy last Saturday, and so we're excited.
Is it just like any team? When you get on a roll, it just becomes infectious all across the entire racing organization?
Well, it's like anything in sports, it's momentum.
Yeah,
I mean, you
certainly
feel good,
is,
you're happy. When you're happy, you're doing a good job. I think in any position, actually in business or in life, and like when you're in a good mood, like things are better, and you're actually better at your job. When you're on the broadcast like this, right? When you're in a good mood, you're better. Like you talk better, you're happier, and so we've got really good momentum, and it's super fun. I mean, it's a sport. It's like when the Browns are doing well or when the Indians are doing well, it's just happier and you're in a better mood. And so, NASCAR is a professional sport, and we're making a difference with people all over the country, being happy for our success.
It is such a traditional sport. I mean, the names of NASCAR through the years remain the same, and it goes from fathers to sons and racing teams. So you started from the ground up, though, and now you're in it. You're in the elite.
There's a difference. So, like you said, it's traditional. If your name's not Earnhardt or Jarrett, I mean, these guys
or Gibbs,
they've been doing this for, literally decades. And so they all know each other. They've all grown up together. They've built a great sport, together. And so for us to come just kind of out of Northeast Ohio, and be ingrained, but they've accepted us like crazy. They see our success, that we're fast, that we can build a great organization. But there's something called the next generation car that's coming out next year in NASCAR, and so they want younger. They're continuing to get a younger demographic, a more diverse demographic in the sport, and so we've done a good job with them. They love us. Like, it's just been great. And we're getting more involved. I know we're going to talk about like with the NASCAR Foundation and some of the charitable things that's going on with NASCAR, and we're getting really involved in that.
Before we get to that, though, I want to ask you an overview right now, because a lot of sports are taking a look at themselves right now and saying, okay, pandemic, and we've kind of come back, but how have we come back? So how has NASCAR, as you look at it, because I remember when we talked, and NASCAR was like the first to come back during the pandemic. All right, how is it doing?
They're doing great. I mean, they're being super careful about, they're obviously being super careful about what goes on, like during the pandemic. They've shut down the, more like fans coming in. So NASCAR's done a really good job over the last few years. It would be like going to a football game where all the fans can come on the field like before the game.
Sure.
That's kind of how it is at NASCAR. They'll let everybody be around the cars, and so they've cut back with some of that stuff. But they know that we need fans. We need fans at games. We need fans at races. So they're being careful. They've cut back on some of the driver introductions. They've cut back on some of the driver interviews. Usually at NASCAR tracks, NASCAR does a really good job of having fans be able to be with the drivers. And so they've cut back with that just to kind of limit the driver exposure. If a driver gets COVID and they can't race, it's a little bit bad for the sport.
Absolutely, as it is for any sport.
Yeah.
Okay, something that really lights you up
Yeah.
is your work. In the charity organizations. You touched on the NASCAR Foundations.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Rock Solid, the Rock Solid Foundation.
Yeah, well, so even on Tuesday, we just built a playground in the backyard of a little 5-year-old boy in Brook Park.
Yeah.
His name's Roman. He's got pediatric cancer. But this Rock Solid Foundation builds playgrounds, play sets in the backyards of these kids that are cancer patients. And so we had 25 people from our team at Kaulig Companies go to his house at 9 o'clock in the morning and build literally a play set, a playground for Roman.
Roman light up?
Yeah, dude, lit up like you wouldn't believe. Like, can you imagine being a kid, whether you have cancer or not have cancer,
Right.
but what he goes through, he's had, for the last 2 years,
Sure.
and it's tough. I mean, he's in the hospital all the time. You're going through chemotherapy and everything else. And so to have a playground, so it's a really good foundation, really proud of our whole team for being able to do that. It lifts our spirits.
I bet.
I mean, it lifts his spirits, but I mean, it feels good to do things for other people and especially kids. So.
Well, I know everybody realizes this, but National Teddy Bear Day is coming up on September 9th.
Yes.
Okay, which brings us to the Speedy Bear Brigade.
Yeah, so we've teamed up with the NASCAR Foundation to, this is the 5th annual time that they're doing this, but we're taking teddy bears. I know even now we've ordered 5,700 of them to hospitals all over the country. So there's 50 hospitals that are involved in this program. And again, kids that are in the hospital for a billion different reasons, to walk in, give them a teddy bear, to lift their spirits, lift their spirits, make them smile. We've even there's coloring books in this box. So we've got a box, we call them houses, that you can color. So we have crayons, coloring books, a teddy bear, a little Matchbox car with our number 11 leaf filter car in there from Justin Haley. But really proud to be part of like the NASCAR Foundation. And at Kaulig Giving, we're matching up to $25,000 for everybody to all the people that are donating these teddy bears. It's $25, Jim. So go to NASCAR Foundation, so you can find it. Just Google NASCAR Foundation, and it's called the Speedy Bear Brigade. So we're happy.
Tell me this, you have so much going on.
Yep.
Where do you find time to get this all done? I can see that your team is red hot, and if they feed off of your energy, they're going to win more than 3 in a row.
Well, it's fun. And we talked about before, it's just momentum. It's about having momentum and having fun, and we demand that everybody we work with has energy and has fun. And I don't know. I agree. People ask me that all the time. How do you do all the stuff that you do?
Right.
Even coming in the studio here, like I have a job, like we work, we race, but it's doing really great things for people that really makes a difference. Like I said, I literally took out a couple days ago our whole day to build a playground in the backyard of a 5-year-old little boy. But can you think of a better thing to do than that?
No, it must make you feel great.
It makes us feel great. Yeah. It's great for our team, and we're just doing great things here in the community, and that's what it's all about.
So he's on the track, and he's in the community, and he's winning everywhere. Matt Kaulig, thanks very much. Continued success.
Thanks, Jim.
On the playoff roll, huh?
I know. We're playoffs are coming up. We've got 3 races until the playoffs in NASCAR. And again, we're leading the standings right now. We've got all 3 drivers in the playoffs. So, the last race of the season is the championship race in Phoenix, Arizona, and there will be only 4 cars that qualify for that. So we hope to have 3 of the 4 cars, which gives us a 75% chance of winning. And
I like your chances.
Right? That would be good odds.
I like your chances on that.
So we like it.
Matt, thanks for time.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right.